Growing up, my dad was my guru and my inspiration. As far as I remember, I always saw a portrait of Dr. A.S. Rao, an Indian scientist and founder of the company that my father had worked in our puja room, the prayer room. I remember seeing his portrait among all the Hindu gods that I had worshipped every single day of my life these years. And that's how my father taught us work is worship. I continued this value as I worked through my career. And through the years in my career, I'm extremely proud of my accomplishments, building great teams and products. The most important of all was building a startup called GreyOrange, from almost nothing starting in India to what it is, a huge global multinational company serving customers across the globe. I take pride in building great teams, hiring every single one of 350 employees back then, creating the right people, processes, and culture to be able to nurture the team that we built at GreyOrange. After doing that for about 8 years, relentlessly following the work ethic that my dad had taught, there came a point in life when I said, I need to take a step back and take a break. That's when I felt the need to be re-energized. And I told myself that I need a sabbatical to reinvent myself. And hence I started the journey on a sabbatical where I did the painful transition of having a 14 to 16 hour work day to now almost doing nothing at home. At least that's what I thought. I also realized during this period that I did not respect the roles of being a daughter, a wife, a mother, and the only thing that I established my identity and pride around was being an employee at work. The turning point really was a Zoom conversation that we had with my college alumni. So all our grad school alumni met up on Zoom and we started introducing each other in the call. And I completely froze when it was my turn. It's so strange because I never had that trouble before. And now I realized, who am I without a job title and a workplace? I felt weird, and looking back, I think I established my identity around my LinkedIn profile, and now that I was on a sabbatical, I felt there was nothing to be proud about or talk about. Since then, I took many months trying to understand who I was and what I wanted to be, and this journey to discover myself has been extremely painful. I was diagnosed to be depressed, I was pre-diabetic, my mental health and physical health was failing, even though I thought I had all the comforts in life. And that's when I wanted to take a health coach certification because I wanted to understand my own health and take charge of it. So when I did this course, I realized the importance of looking at life holistically and that work is an important part of life but is not life itself. I stepped out of my comfort zone and started to do things that I usually did not do. And before I say that, I must acknowledge I have the privilege and I have and had the financial and the social support to be able to pursue these things. I had a huge fear of water. I did swimming. I did scuba diving. I learned a new language. I went for a 10-day Vipassana meditation course. I did so many courses of Tony Robbins to reevaluate my values and belief systems. The reason I did all that was because I wanted to shed that identity and try to reinvent myself. But over a period of time, as I did all that, I realized a superpower in me. And that really is the ability to evolve myself and my identity and not to hold back to a certain self that I was in the past. I think that's my superpower, and that is something that is going to help me reinvent myself and evolve as I go in life. As I followed this pursuit, I grew very interested in public health, and that's how I came back to school at 37 years age, going back to a grad school to pursue full-time 2 years master's in public health. And today as a public health professional, I realize what a privilege I had to be able to reinvent myself and use the financial and social support to do everything I did to achieve who I wanted to become. However, I also realize there are millions of people today and communities that have been historically marginalized because of racism, sexism, poverty, bias, oppression, and so many other things because of which they are not able to break the shackles, and become their true selves. So I think in summary, I am in a pursuit of equity. I want to stand up for those communities and people who need support financially, socially, to be able to become their true selves. Having broken through my barriers to an identity, I realized it can be done. And I want to work on structural approaches towards equity, be it policies or programs, to be able to build thriving communities. That's my mission today.